Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everybody's doing good out there today, and thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to check the video out. Much appreciated. Today I've got something special to share with you guys. I'm going to show you guys actually I've got a lot of different baits I throw in the summertime, but three of my favorite baits that more than likely you're not throwing, a lot of anglers aren't throwing, and I'm going to show you each one of these baits and sort of explain to you the summertime situations that I use them in. So it's going to be pretty informational, or pretty information packed, I think. But if you guys are interested in any of these baits, I'll include the Baitworks link in the description here. You guys know I'm working with Baitworks in Springfield, Missouri, online tackle store, plus they got a physical store. Gigantic selection of everything you need. If they don't have some of the stuff I'm talking about, they can get it for you. So you can check that out at baitworks.com. Much appreciated. Okay, let's get into this a little bit, what we're talking here. You know, a lot of people think in terms of summertime fishing. It seems like they got deep diving crankbaits, big worms, football head jigs, buzz baits, square bill crankbaits, creature baits, that type of stuff. There's about a dozen baits or so out there that get fished a lot in the summertime of the year. But I'm going to show you guys three of my favorites that you probably aren't hearing about or not getting fished. Three different categories, or separate categories. First one I want to talk about is the Megabass Flap Slap. Megabass Flap Slap. You guys have probably seen me talk about this bait before. This is one of my favorite lures that Megabass makes. It's a flat-sided crankbait, as you can see here. It's been around a long time. It's an excellent lure in cold water, simply because it's, you know, everybody knows the flat side works really good in the cold water pre-spawn. But this bait, guys, is one of my killers in the summertime, anytime I'm around riprap. If I'm fishing riprap banks and that water's hot, this is one of my go-to crankbaits. It's going to run anywhere between 4 to 6 foot deep, depending upon how heavy a line you use. Most of the time I'm fishing this bait on an 8 to 10 pound test line. It's heavy enough to throw on a bait caster. So if I'm throwing it on 8, I'm using the spinning rod. If I'm throwing it on 10 or 12, I'll use a bait caster with like a medium action 6.5, 7 foot rod. But basically what I'm doing with this is I'm sticking with my shad patterns. I'm paralleling the ripraps. Most of the ripraps that I fish this in, I'm looking for a little bit more dirty water. I'm looking for those water visibilities anywhere between, say, 8 inches to no more than 2 feet. 2 foot would be about the maximum. Ideally, I'm guessing, if I had a perfect scenario, it'd be 12 to 15 inches of visibility. So if you guys are in a situation where you've got a lot of riprap where you're fishing, you know, 1 to 2 foot visibility, get you some of these flap slaps, because I promise you they're going to be highly productive. I usually fish them with a fairly fast stop and go retrieve. It's just, I mean, the thing looks exactly like a threadfin shad. It's about the same size too. Okay, the next one I'm going to talk about is probably one a lot of guys probably haven't used here. What are you doing out there? Oh, you just got out of the shower. Hold on, guys. Elijah just got out of the shower. Okay, I'm back, guys. Elijah was getting his bath, and I thought he was going to be in his bath a while, but he got out and came down here with no clothes on, so we got him situated out there. He'll probably be coming back down with some clothes on here in a second. Okay, on to the second bait we're talking about. My next summertime bait that I promise you a lot of people, unless you're a smallmouth guru and you know about this bait from sort of like small circles, you probably have never heard about this. This is the Megabass Kanata jerkbait. And to give you a size comparison, here's the flap slap next to it. This is the biggest jerkbait that Megabass makes. It's probably, I'm guessing, 7 inches long, close to 7 inches long. It's got a flat side. The Kanata has an extremely aggressive action. It runs, you know, probably around 4 foot deep on 12 pound test line, but the bait, it just really darts extremely hard side to side like that. It's for aggressive fish, and in the summertime, guys, they will hammer this thing in a lot of different situations. My favorite place to fish this is for those smallmouth up north, but if you're not up north, I catch a lot of fish on this thing in the summertime, just in a man-made impoundment around any type of floating boat dock. If you've got marinas, floating boat docks that have water visibility, excuse me, anything like over 1.5 feet of visibility, ideally I like that water visibility sort of in that 2.5 to 4 foot range. I can take this big Kanata and jerk it really hard around the slips, you know, throwing it in the slips, throwing it on the corners and the sides of the docks, and those big ones will come out and hammer this thing. This is the big bass, big bait. It takes a big commitment for the fish to hit it, and it pulls the fish out a long way off of the dock. I haven't really had much success on this bait in the summertime on any other cover on a man-made lake except docks, but I've always got this thing tied on when I'm fishing around boat docks or if I'm fishing for smallmouth up north. All those dudes right now fishing Champlain and St. Lawrence River, if they don't have one of these, they probably wish they would, because the big smallmouth will hammer it. So the third one I'm going to talk about is an old school. This is a super old school bait. You guys have probably heard me talk about it before, but I talk about it because it's such a deadly bait, specifically in the summer. And that's this is a Gilmore jumper. They also make one called a wood chopper or a jumper. It's basically an old time big prop bait. It's not like a devil's horse. It's a lot bigger than a devil's horse. This is a lot fatter, but it's the same concept as a devil's horse as far as props on both ends. And guys, this big black wood chopper, one of the when I was a girl I dated years ago, like over 30 years ago, her dad showed me this technique with these old wood choppers, how effective they were. Did you get dressed?
Yeah.
Okay, you gonna say hi to everybody?
Yeah, hi.
Okay, we're gonna finish up here.
Oh my God.
But anyway, you know, he was in his late 70s at the time, and he showed me how effective this thing was in the middle of the summer on the hottest days that you can possibly find. And what you're looking for with that is, we used to float creeks a lot with it. And, you know, he would basically cast them up under those, you know, overhanging trees, shady type areas. But I've taken this same bait, and it's the same deal. I'll go back into the creek and cove arms in the summertime of the year, anytime I can find any type of overhanging trees, anything that puts shade off, like on the corner of a boat dock. Not necessarily early and late in the day. I mean, they'll bite it good early and late in the day, but the times that I do really good on this bait in the summertime of the year is up in the middle of the day on those areas that are throwing off some shade lines, because there's something about the noise that these props make and the size of this bait that it'll pull a big fish up out of shallow water, even in the dirtier water. I mean, I like that bait in water visibility of say 1 to 3 feet. That's the key thing. So anyway, guys, that's my 3 baits that you probably are not fishing, that you probably never heard of or not fishing, but they're key deals, is the Megabass Flap Slap, Megabass Kanata, and the old Gilmore wood chopper. Give them a try. I mean, I promise you you'll get some bites on it, and I promise you a lot of guys fishing around you will not have them on. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. Again, appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Appreciate all the hardcore fans. Appreciate the haters watching it. And if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Coming up on the 40,000 subscriber giveaway. We've got a bunch of great stuff we're going to be giving away. And probably going to be doing that in about a week or so. So if you guys are wanting to be eligible to win some Bridgeford beef jerky, Seagar fishing line, Silverback sunglasses, all you got to do is subscribe to that channel. So we'll talk to you guys later. You gonna say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Okay. See you guys later on. Take her easy.